Hey, what's up guys, welcome to another Python 3 tutorial, and in today's tutorial we are going to continue with strings. In the last lecture we did indexing with strings, and now I'm going to show you some more examples of how we can do indexing. So let's take an example of this string hello, and as you can see I've already written the indexes for all the characters in that string and also their reverse indexes as well. So suppose in this string I wanted to get this E over here. So what I could do is I could simply just do direct indexing over here. So to do that I need to type the variable name, then square brackets, and inside those square brackets I need to type the index of the character E, that is 1. So if I type 1 over here, this will return me the character E, but I can also do the inverse or the reverse indexing. So instead of 1 I could say -4 over here, and that would also give me the same result. So similarly, if I wanted to get this O over here, what I could do is I could say 4. So that way I would have to count from H to O for the position of the character O. But if I was doing reverse indexing, then I could just say -1, and that would give me the last character, since I know that O is the last character in the string hello. Okay, so I hope you practice some more with this concept of indexing. So now I'm going to move on to slicing. So what is slicing? So before we were just getting a single character from a string, but what if we wanted to get more than one character? So what if we wanted to get the entire string itself? Well, to do that, what we can do is we can use slicing. So let me show you some examples. Suppose I wanted to get all the characters that come after D. So what I could do is I could count till D. So 0, 1, 2 and 3. So starting from 3, and if I write colon after this and then run this code, it will give me every character starting from D till the end of the string. But I wanted to get from starting from E, so I can type 4 over here, and that will give me every character from E till the end of this string. So before I started from the index 4 and went till the end of the string, but now what I want to do is I want to start from the starting and stop at H. So what I can do is I can say I can remove 4 from over here, because by default in strings the starting position is always 0. But now I want to go till H, so what I can do is I can say -4 over here, and that will traverse my string until H. So as you can see I wrote -4 over here. Well, that's because while slicing, what happens is that it moves till the ending position, but it does not include the ending position. So if you wanted to get I over here, you would need to write -3, that is the position of J, or the reverse index of J. So if I wanted to get every character till D, including D, then what I would need to do is I would need to write the index of E instead of D, because last character is not included while slicing. So the position of E would be 4. What I could do is I could just write 4 over here, and that will give me A, B, C, D. Okay, so that was the starting position and the ending position. As you can see in the syntax over here, there is also a third variable or third optional parameter called step size. Well, that is for how many characters that you want to jump after reading a single character. For example, if I started from the starting and wanted to go till the end, but I want to skip one character in between, what I could do is I could say 2 over here, and that would skip one character after reading 1. For example, first it will read A, then C, then E, then G, then I, then K, and then there's no character to read afterwards, so it will print A, C, E, G, I, K. So what you could do is you could always write 1 over here, but there is no point in writing that because by default the step size is always 1. So if you wanted to skip 2 characters, you could write 3 over here. So that will make Python skip 2 characters after reading 1 character while slicing. So next up, there are some important functions in strings. So Python provides us with some built-in functionalities that we can use to modify our strings. So let me show you some of them. So if you wanted to know what functions are available to you, what you can do is you can write the name of the variable or the name of the string variable, then a dot, then afterwards you can press tab, and that will display you a list of all the functions that you can use on strings. So I'm going to show you the first one, and to use this function you need to write parentheses after it. So if I perform capitalize on string, that would capitalize my first letter of the string, that is A. And other than that, I can perform some other functions such as upper, that would convert my entire string into upper cases, or I could perform lower, and that would convert my string into lower cases. Let me take another string. So what if you wanted to split this string? Well, Python provides us a function called split. It splits your string into a list. We haven't done lists yet, but we will be doing them in the future, so don't worry about it right now. Just know how this function split works. So as you can see, when I perform split on this string, it splits my string upon every space that it finds. So if I wanted to split on I, then I can pass a character or a string I inside the function, and that would split my string upon every I that it finds. So those were some useful functions that are available to you in Python by default, and now we are going to take a look at some of the properties of strings. For example, strings, the first property is that strings are immutable. What do I mean by immutability? Well, immutable means that it cannot be changed. Well, we can change the string, but we cannot modify a part of the string. So let me show you what I mean by that. So if I take another string called hello world, now if I wanted to modify the string, I can modify it, but I cannot change a part of it. For example, if I wanted to remove hello and say bye instead, what I can try is string, then the starting position till the end of O, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now if I put 5 over here, that will return me the string hello. And if I try to modify it, for example, if I say bye, I won't be able to, because in Python strings are immutable, so you cannot change them. But what I could do is I could say string, then I could say bye, then world. That would modify my string. So if I try to print the string again, that would return bye world. So keep that in mind. You cannot modify a part of string, but you can completely replace that string if you wanted to. So the next property would be that you can perform concatenation on strings. For example, if I had two strings, str1, that would be hello, and str2, now if I wanted to combine those two strings, what I can do is I can say str1 plus str2, and that will combine both my strings. But notice that there is no space in between them. Well, that's because there was no space at the end of hello or the beginning of world. So if I wanted to include space in there, what I can do is I can write a space at the end of hello or at the beginning of world. So that will give me a hello world with a space in between. But what I can also do is I can say over here I can add another character and I can write this string in between those two words, and that will also give me the same result. So another operation that I can perform on strings is called multiplication. So for example, if I wanted to multiply my string several times, well, I can do that. Well, let me show you what I mean by that. Well, if I write str1 and then asterisk and then the number of times I want to multiply it, for example I say 10, then this will give me hello 10 times in a single string. So this one didn't have any space in it, so what I can do is I can write space over here, and then if I run this again, now I have 10 hellos with space in between them. So what I can also do is I can write a space over here, but what I would need to do is I would need to put parentheses over there because multiplication has higher precedence than addition. So if I put space over here, so if I run this now, this will also give me the same result. So now that we know what strings are and how we can work with them, the only thing left in strings is how we can format our strings. So by formatting, I mean if I wanted to include variables inside my strings, I can do it, and there are several ways that I can do it. So let me declare some variables. For example, if I say a is equals to 5, then b is equals to 5.5 and c is equals to world. Now if I have a string called hello, then space, so now if I wanted to combine this string with one of these three variables, what I can do is I can say plus c, and that would return me hello world. But if I try to do the same thing with a and b, what that would that would give me an error, because a is of type integer and hello is of type string. So you cannot add strings to integers or floating points. What you can do is you can format that string. For example, if I wanted to include the variable a inside my string, what I would need to do is I would need to write f in front of my string. Then I can put curly braces wherever I want to include that character, and inside those curly braces I would need to write the name of the variable that I want to put in that string. So I would write a, and that would give me hello space 5, and I could do the same thing with b, and it would give me 5.5. I can include more than one variable inside it, because suppose I wanted to say hello world then 5.5. What I would need to do is I would need to write curly braces, and in those curly braces I can say c, and this would give me hello world 5.5. So there are other ways to do string formatting as well, but in my opinion this is the easiest one. So if you want to check out more methods, there is another one called dot format. So if you search on Google for dot format function in Python, you can find out how you can do that. Okay, so that's it for today's tutorial, and in the next tutorial we'll be doing lists and maybe dictionaries as well. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and if you like this video, please subscribe. If you want to be notified every time I drop a new video, you can hit the notification icon and turn on the notifications. Okay, I'll see you in the next tutorial.